Hi guys, welcome to my quick Gorou guide. Gorou is great buffer to your Geo characters, as you can see in this demonstration. Before Gorou, Chiori's burst damage is about 36,000 and after Gorou's buff it is about 54,000, that is 18,000 damage difference, and by the way, there is no weapon or artifacts on Gorou. So, how does he achieve these numbers with so little investment? It is all about his skill, which is core of Gorou's kit. Gorou's elemental skill deals AoE geo damage and sets up a general war banner that provides a number of buffs to active characters within the skill's AoE based on the number of geo characters in the party. With one geo character you will gain defense bonus, 2 geo characters will give you defense bonus plus increased resistance to interruptions, and with 3 geo characters it's defense bonus, increased resistance to interruptions and increased geo damage bonus. Gorou's elemental burst works the same way as his elemental skill, but the AoE of this skill manifests in small floating dock that follows the active character for the duration of the skill. This talent also periodically deals geo damage bonus to a single opponent in its AoE. So your talent priorities are your skill, then your burst, and auto attacks are optional. Before we move on to artifacts, we have to go over Gorou's constellation, because few of them might change the main stats of your artifacts. So his first constellation, when character other than Gorou deals geo damage while inside of Gorou's skill or burst, his cooldown will be decreased by 2 seconds. This effect can occur every 10 seconds. His C2 will increase his burst duration by 1 second every time character picks up a geo crystal from crystallized reactions. Max extension is 3 seconds. C3 and 5 will increase your talent levels. Gorou's C4 turns him into healer. Whenever you have 2 or more geo characters on your team, your burst will heal your active character every 1.5 seconds by heal equal to 50% of Gorou's defense. And his C6 will increase your geo crit damage for 12 seconds every time you use your skill or burst. This effect cannot be stacked, and the crit damage increase is based on how many geo characters are on your team. With 1 geo character it is 10% increase, 2 geo characters 20% and 3 geo characters means 40% increase. When it comes to weapons, your best in slot is Favonia's warbow. You can also use sacrificial bow, but you need to remember that you can have only one active skill. If you don't have either of those, you can use event weapon Fading Twilight or the end of line bow, which can be acquired for free by fishing in Sumeru. The only problem with this weapon is the weapon skill scales on attack and Gorou scales on defense, so the weapon skill damage won't be as high as on the other characters, but it is still decent option. For artifacts you want to use 4-piece Noblesse, and if there is already a Noblesse user on your team, then use 4-piece Husk. If you don't have good 4-piece, go for 2-piece Husk plus 2-piece Emblem. For your main stats you want defense percent Sands, defense percent Goblet, and with Circlet it's either defense percent to maximize your buff, crit rate if you are using Favonia's warbow and don't have enough crit rate on your substats to utilize the weapon skill, or healing bonus if you have his C4 and want the extra healing. When it comes to teams, in order to maximize Gorou's buff, you should go either full or triple geo. You can use only 2 geo characters plus 2 characters of other elements, but keep in mind that you won't be able to access geo damage buff from his skill and burst, and you will only get 20% geo crit damage bonus from his C6. Another thing to consider when using Gorou is direct and indirect buffing. Direct buff is simply buffing your next in line character, for example like this.
Let's go, Tomato! Scatter!
An indirect buff, for example this, where Gorou will increase Yunjin's defense, which by the way her guide is coming out next, so subscribe, and this defense increase will enhance her burst, so after Noelle uses her burst, her auto attacks will gain extra damage from Gorou and Yunjin's boosted burst, and it looks like this.
Time to shine!
Charge! Rally!
Observe! Your grand finale! Time to clean up!